It is a real pleasure and a real treat for me to introduce Geralin Thomas. We just got hooked up, thankfully, by Julie, and and I owe her all the credit. And it was dynamite to talk to her. You might recognize her. She's all over every TV channel at some point, at some time. And she's just a blast, and her videos are great. Her website is great. It's metrozing.com, right? Am I pronouncing Metrozing, right? Yeah. So I mean, she's an awesome person. She's chock full of energy, and her organizing advice is like expert level. But it's so simple that even somebody who's completely disorganized, she makes it and breaks it down so simply that anybody can follow any of her systems. So I'm going to give a nice big round of applause. Geralin, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Take it away.
Okay, so I feel a little like I'm happy to be piggybacking off of Julie, because I've got some R's, Julie. I've got renew, reduce, refresh. I've got some R's in my portfolio here too. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about closets and mostly how to kind of organize and refresh your closet. And the reason that I'm doing this is when you told me that you wanted to do like a spring organizing thing, I was all hyped up, because did you know, Adam, and everybody, that 48% of women's annual budgets are spent on spring in the springtime? So really? That alone, yeah, 48%. And don't ask me where I got that, because I found it online and then I couldn't re-find it. So I'm thinking, oh, I should have cited my source. But anyway, 98% of my statistics are made up. How's that?
Like Abraham Lincoln says, don't believe everything you read online sometimes, right?
Right. Exactly. I think he said that on Twitter, if I recall.
I think so.
Anyway, the first thing before you can go blowing your budget and buying more clothes or less clothes or whatever is, I'm a big believer in go ahead and edit the stuff you already own. Some people call it pruning, some people call it purging. There's whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it editing. And for me, when I'm working with clients, I try to encourage them to get rid of the stuff that no longer fits their lifestyle. That's the main thing. So sometimes, there's a new statistic. I'm going to spare you the stats now, but that more and more women are staying home. So maybe you were getting dressed up to go out into the world, and now you're staying home a lot more. So maybe your lifestyle in that sense has changed. Or maybe now you are out working and you have to have this corporate or business vibe, or whatever you're doing. Maybe you are now at a different point in life where you want to be more sporty, more outdoorsy. Maybe, like Julie said, you're putting down all those electronics and you're going to get out and actually enjoy the great outdoors. So maybe you need a wardrobe that reflects that. So I'm always trying to encourage people to think about how much of your wardrobe truly reflects your everyday life. Another thing I like to do with people is try to get them to name who they used to be and who they kind of identify with now. So I just did this recently with a client, and she just blows my mind. She's so funny. So she told me that she used to be more like Cher and Annie Lennox, right? And now that she has lost a bunch of weight and she is really wanting to flaunt her figure, she's in her late 60s, by the way. She said now she wants to dress like Sofia Vergara. So a lot of her old stuff is going to be, out the door.
Right.
So, another client told me that she used to be more corporate business, and now she identifies more with the way like Ellen is dressing. So kind of casual, comfortable pants, natural fibers, things like that. So anyway, edit your wardrobe. That's the place to start. The next thing is to kind of renew your style. Think about, projecting that image. Do you love the stuff that you're keeping and wearing? Is it comfortable? Is it flattering? Does it fit? And this is where we get into everybody, man, woman, child, should really stop and take their measurements and take them accurately, like with a soft tape measure. So many of us shop online. Again, huge statistics, but let's just say that tons of people are shopping online compared to the good old days. And that is one reason that I'm a really big believer in take your measurements, because if you don't have an accurate, size of what your waist is or your bust or your hips or your inseam, it's really difficult to shop online. And then, like Julie said, you do not want the UPS truck running up and down and planes flying overhead to pick up your packages, drones landing on your front porch, right? You want to be kind of eco-conscious when you're buying online, because it is saves you time and energy, but it does have its toll on resources.
Right.
The other thing that I think people should think about is their vertical proportions. So that would be the distance maybe between the bust and the waist, or the waist to the legs. And each of us are put together a little bit differently. And again, if you don't know what those measurements are, it pays to learn. That way you can use the proper terms, especially when you're shopping online for things, and say, I'm a short-waisted person, or I'm a long-waisted person. My trunk is twice as long as the average person's. And then try to familiarize yourself with what your horizontal proportions are. These are the things that either women cringe or they embrace. So sometimes you'll hear women refer to themselves as, I'm an apple shape or a triangle shape or an hourglass shape. There are actual proportions and rules for which category you fit into, and that's an important thing to know. Then how about talking for a minute about coordinating your wardrobe?
Well, I was just going to say, you say women get like a little bashful when it comes to talking about things. So do men. I mean, I got to tell you, for a while, I was pretty heavy after my wife and we had 2 kids. They're gorgeous kids, by the way. But, I kind of ballooned up. And just recently, I finally got back down to my fighting weight. So I'm real happy about that. But I never really realized like where my body is. Now I'm 42 years old. But, it's like I never thought about it when I was younger, because I was just throwing on clothes, getting going, I buy a suit, this and that. Then when I ballooned up, I had to change all my clothes, and then I was still trying to wear them and get the most use out of them as I brought myself down. But eventually I did have to kind of get a new wardrobe, and it's a whole to-do when you get a wardrobe. So knowing your sizes is definitely key.
Was it a good to do or a bad to do?
Oh no, it's great to do, because now I'm in like jeans that I haven't worn since I'm like 24, and I'm happy about that. So I'm really excited.
Good for you. Well, congratulations. That's very cool. I have like a funny little anecdote, and I'll make it really quick. I go shopping for a bathing suit, and I bring like a posse of girlfriends with me, and we're all like sobbing. We have these little mini wine bottles that we're in the dressing room, like, oh my gosh, get me through this. And then you're complaining, I've got cellulite, I've got varicose veins, I've got flabby arms, okay, so the list goes on. I don't know who's eating lunch, so I'll spare you. And we agonize, like we're depressed when we leave the shopping center. I go with my husband and my sons to get them swimsuits. My husband tries on one bathing suit. He walks out. I mean, he's not a perfectly built guy, right?
Right.
He comes out, he says, it fits, I'll take it. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? How did that happen? Mm-hmm. Anyway.
That's how men roll.
Yeah. Confidence, I love it.
There you go.
Anyway, think about things when you're purchasing clothes instead of making these crazy purchases. Does it coordinate with something I already own? Is it mix and match? Is it a versatile garment? And I myself am a big believer in closet capsules. When I work with people, I try to get everything paired up. Here's the top you'll wear. Here's the 3 options of bottoms, 2 different things of skirts, jewelry, whatever. So that helps. Another thing is, a tip is to tailor your style to your body shape as well as your face shape. So as I've gotten older, necessity, and I'm always kind of amazed at the number of people who don't give any thought to like their face shape when they're picking out glasses or jewelry. So that's something to think about. And your body shape, the briefcase you carry, the handbag, everything kind of factors in if you want to be as good as you can be. And if you don't care, it's okay. You're not going to offend me.
By the way, the glasses look spectacular on you.
Thank you. I went bright blue because I thought, it was like my midlife crisis. I wasn't going to get a little red car. I got bright blue glasses.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks. Another crisis that I hear quite often, this is kind of like my crises list that I'm going through with everybody, is the age appropriate thing. You know, what's age appropriate? What do I discard? What do I keep? And I'm not really a huge rules follower when it comes to this stuff. My theory is kind of like wear what you feel really confident in, what you feel pretty or handsome in, what fits well. You know, I don't think at, 55, even if you're rocking it, that you should be wearing a super short midriff shirt out in the evening, like trying to impress your boss or for a corporate dinner. So I think there's more rights and wrongs with stuff like that. I think, when you're a college-aged woman, you can get away with wearing head-to-toe leopard and rock it. I think, if you were my age doing that, people would think I'm Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. So back off the, the head-to-toe looks like you used to rock. And then the other tip is reflect the region where you're living. And I have like funny stories about this. I can go to New York, Manhattan, and I will stand out like a sore thumb because I'm in North Carolina and we wear really bright, happy colors. If you'll notice, Emily was in purple, Julie's got a purple background, I'm in turquoise. And I think it's just like a Chicago, New York, big city thing where they tend to wear darker colors, and I'm not sure why that is, but
it's New York black. Everybody loves their black. It could be winter, it could be summer. Everybody in New York wears black, and I try to buck the trend. I'm wearing purple, so I'm happening. I thank you. I feel happy to wear. I feel like I'm part of the girls.
You're our favorite metrosexual.
I appreciate that very much. It takes a strong man to stand with a bow in his face for a profile picture.
Right, right, yeah, so, and it's purple at that. I love it.
Yep.
Another tip is to reduce the maintenance. Spend less time taking care of the stuff you own, just like everybody else has said, from laundry to gardening tools to your apps on your phone. My thing is M.I.A., right? M.I.A.s, actually, and that does not stand for missing in action. Mine is mending, ironing, alterations, and spot cleaning. So if you have garments with a lot of those needs and you don't have any intention of doing mending or ironing or alterations, pitch the stuff and let it go. Donate it, consign it, invite somebody in your house and do a swap thing with them, but that's another way to kind of prune, edit, revise your closet. How are we on time?
We got it like at least another minute and a half, and I see John Rowley was able to get online. I see his daughter Jackie over there hanging out, smiling, wavy, holding John's spot. So I'm sure John will be. Oh, thank you, darling. I appreciate. Right back at you. She's so cute. Love her. Anyways, but we got another minute and a half. Go ahead and then we'll go.
Why don't we wrap with this then? The 4 reasons women shop most often. Number 1 is function. So this is you buy functional garments, and just to put it real delicately, we'll go with shapewear. How's that? Anybody?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, yeah, no embarrassment factor. And then joy. Joy is another reason we shop. We want the wow factor if we're going to a wedding, or I know Julie is a recent bride. We're applying for a job. We're going to be on camera with Adam. We want something to look good in. Utility is the 3rd reason. Whether you ski or run or do yoga, you need several different garments for those activities. And then the 4th one is impact. And these are the items that we tend to buy when we want to kind of seal the deal. So maybe we have a great outfit, but we need the perfect shoe or the perfect scarf or the perfect whatever to go along with it. So those are some of the things to think about as you're weeding out your closet.
Sure. Awesome. And it's so funny because I've never really thought about it before, but when you talk about wardrobe, it's really a collection. I mean, it's a collection of clothing, and if you don't even think, like, I've never really thought about that until like this conversation. And people, some of them take pride in it, but other areas they treat it like other collections in their house where it's all disorganized, it's all disheveled, and it's all over the place. So it's another great tip, save a few minutes, get your stuff organized, pick out the things that fit you, feel good about what you're wearing. There's nothing worse than leaving the house and looking yourself in some window as you're walking down the street and you go, oh boy, I can't believe I wore this out. So, all right. So the one thing I know not to do also is when I turn into my mid-50s is to wear a leopard mid-dress. So, all right, good to go. All right. Well, Geraldine, thank you so much for being my friend and coming on here and supporting this group and just putting your information together. You're awesome, and I just look forward to learning and growing with you as time goes on. So,
this was
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, all of Geraldine's information, metrozing.com is going to be down there. She's got a great PDF download, and she's got a special deal on her site if you check her out. So that'll be on the speaker offers pages, which John Pudicek has posted. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to give a round of applause to Geraldine.
Rapid, the world's greatest gift wrap organizer. www.rapidgiftbag.com